Okay.
We're live.
We're live. Let's do it. Amay, month 1, week 1. Yeah, man, let's dive straight in. So I think my first question I want to start with, everybody has a very big opinion on masculinity these days.
Mm-hmm.
What is your take on masculinity? What does it mean to you?
It's a very good question. It's a very deep one. For me, masculinity is something a provider would have.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who can hold the space for other people without judgment. I think that's a very masculine aspect. There are a lot of traits that masculinity holds. So one of them is holding space for other people, regardless of, it doesn't have to be women, it can be other men as well. A person who's reliable, who can be trusted, who's a leader.
Mm.
These are all different traits that a masculine person has.
Mm.
And the evolution of every male, I think, well, an evolution of a real man is like developing those qualities. And yeah, that's something I do my best to embody.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
That's a real clear definition. You touched on some really great areas there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the reason I started with that question is, of course, the name of our brand is the Maskülen Essence.
Right.
So yeah, let me ask you, why now? Why have you decided to join the Maskülen Essence now?
I finally am able to remove noise from my head from other areas of my life. Like, I have a lot of my finances in order now. I have a stable job. I have friends that I care about, family I care about. And the only thing that's left is finding a relationship or someone who I can experience love and attraction and all the things in that basket. I think this is just the right time for it. I have the presence of mind, I have the willingness and also the maturity to do all of it right now. That's why.
Wow. Hey, listen, I would say as well, I can tell, obviously we met the other day for your first mock date feedback, and I can tell you're a very self-aware individual, which does make this whole process, especially when it comes to coaching, for me, a lot easier.
Nice.
Because when you got that self-awareness there, you can bring things up and I can bring things up, and you've maybe already identified it or maybe not, but then you've also got that growth mindset there
100%.
as well, which makes a difference.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, cool. So you've picked now to come into this journey. Would you say right now it's unbearable, like this, the dating life and choosing to fix it now, if you will, for lack of a better term, or is it not at that point yet and you're trying to like nip it in the bud before it gets to that point?
I would say it's a little bit on the unbearable side. I have struggled with this for some time.
Yeah.
But did not have language to understand what I was experiencing.
You didn't have the language?
Yeah.
Okay.
The understanding, the mental capacity to... I'm very sensitive as an individual. Like, small experiences would impact me a lot more than an average experience. For example, if like a rejection would have 100 times more of an impact than at least what my friends had back in college. And also in school, I used to be attracted to so many women or like girls in school, but I would never take any action. Also because there was just so much fear growing up in an Islamic country like Dubai.
Right.
So yeah, it just happens to be that it was unbearable. Now I have a little bit more strength and maturity to deal with the sensitivity of interaction and the emotions that come up with it.
Yeah. Where does that maturity come from?
I've done years of therapy.
Okay.
A lot of years of it.
Right.
I have a lot of severe situations that happened back when I was growing up that I had to work on.
In Dubai?
In Dubai, yeah. And I don't want to say I've overcome them. That's something that's not, I don't think that's accurate to say, but I've definitely have a very clear understanding of like what's happened and how much I've grown from it. Yeah.
That's really important, because this video and these clips, of course, are for yourself, for me as well, to hold you accountable and also to look back at over time. But it's also for future members, current members, people that are maybe looking to join, people that aren't sure about what this is and what this whole journey is. But I really like that you've mentioned that, because I think therapy is a big part that I think men don't talk about enough. If they do it, they might do it in private.
Yeah.
They might not tell their friends about it, especially in the United Kingdom. That can be, a little bit of a stigma.
Yeah.
I'm somebody as well that's, I went through my own journey before even starting the Maskülen Essence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of unlocked something and it opened this kind of floodgates of, I can actually think clearly now.
Yeah.
I can actually think about what I can offer the world and what I can do.
Exactly.
So it's really interesting you mentioned therapy there. Okay. Cool. So let me ask you this then. So you've obviously seen us online, come across us. Just a quick one. How did you come across us?
I just Googled you.
Just Googled. Okay, cool. So you've come across us on Google. How come you decided to go with us and maybe not, anyone else?
Yeah. I did check out other places as well.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of the, what do you call those? Initiation meetings?
Oh, like the consultation calls.
Consultation calls, yes. I did a lot of those and I got details of the pricing and their demeanor of the coaches. Plus, I was basically getting handed, instead of the people who were selling the course, I was working with their head coaches and not them directly, which was a little bit of, I wanted to speak to the person who was actually selling the program, even if it's in a small capacity. Additionally, the cost was way higher. I also was more geared towards older people. Like I'm still 25, I'm young still. So I wanted it to be with a younger person as well. And also the fact that it's a community more than anything is a selling point.
Yeah.
Like a huge selling point for me personally.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. No, I think it's really interesting to know that you've obviously, shopped around. I think that's really important. We spoke about therapy a second ago. I did that with therapists. I'm sure, you booked that first call and you see, okay, what's this person's demeanor like? What's this person's, what do they specialize in? So was there anything in particular here that on our first call you thought, okay, cool, yeah, that actually resonates with me. That stands out. You mentioned the community. Was there anything else that you thought about? That you thought, okay, cool, yeah, that is actually that would be quite good for me.
I think the way you interacted with me was also very, very compassionate, I would say. In my other calls, the guy was an absolute dick. He told me, he first of all didn't let me explain why I wanted to join. He just kept going on about, just trying to sell. And he was also like very young and kind of cocky. And I didn't appreciate that. Although like I'm sure as a friend, he's a fun guy. But as someone I'm trying to pay and get help from, I don't know if I trusted that.
Right.
And the other person that I spoke with, he wasn't really paying attention on the call. He was busy he was multitasking.
Right. Answering emails.
Yeah. I was like, he's like, what? Well, he was paying attention. He was basically writing up the email summary.
Okay.
Of our call while we were doing it, which is fine. I understand that. But at the same time, it kind of came across as, I don't really need a huge summary because I can retain information as well.
Yeah.
And I was writing my own notes on the call. So I was like, hey, just talk to me.
Just look at me, talk to me.
Yeah, talk to me. Yeah.
No,
those are the
thank you for sharing
differentiating factors. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, bro. So final question on this particular area, and then we'll go into, a couple of other areas. Have you tried anything like this before? Did you maybe try to take advice? Did you hire a coach? I know you said you shopped around, but did you hire a coach? And did you try to, fix anything, for lack of a better term, before joining the Maskülen Essence?
Not through a coach. I mean, I've watched an extensive amount of YouTube videos and content on how to make myself attractive and how to speak better, how to orient my mindset towards dating, relationships, women in general. So it's all been like self-study,
right?
For lack of a better term.
Yep.
But I have not hired a coach. This is my first time, essentially.
Fair enough. I think it's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's good questions to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into the membership side of things. So of course, at the moment, at the time of recording, we have bronze, silver and gold packages for London, New York and Dubai members. You've obviously gone for gold. Why did the gold membership stand out to you as opposed to the bronze or silver?
I wanted as much bang for the buck as I could get. Mm-hmm. I can afford it as well. Additionally, the photo shoot stuff was also a selling point personally. Mm-hmm. I've been wanting to do that for some time and I wanted some help doing that when I do set up my dating profile at some point.
Yeah,
I wanted to have someone I can rely on for that.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have a dating app right now?
Not right now, no.
Okay. And
Intentionally.
Intentionally.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I think dating apps work if you are confident about who you are. If you feel comfortable in your body and in the way you speak and who you are. I don't think I'm in that place right now. For context, I've used dating apps before. I've been on dates through those as well. Nothing material came off of it. I did meet my relationship. Well, my first relationship was through Tinder, actually.
Okay.
But it was a very short relationship.
I can imagine through Tinder.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, we didn't actually. We never hooked up. Like, the first couple of weeks, at least. We just stayed in touch as friends.
Yeah.
And then I hit her up later. And I was like, I think she went traveling for like a few months after. But then she was still interested in we had a long conversation on our first date. We got ice cream and then we spoke for like 3-4 hours after.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was it was a very fun, there was not like a lot of sexual tension.
Right.
It was more like being friends.
Yeah.
Which then I think she just wanted someone she could trust, and I was giving her some attention at the time. And she liked it, and yeah.
Okay, yeah. How did that end?
I ended it with her.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was in a different place in life, and she was so head over heels for me that it threw me off. She also would use me as like a trophy for her friend circle. And she was like 2 years younger, so she was I was 23, she was 21. She's still in college last year. And I remember going, one of the most craziest experiences, well, it wasn't a crazy experience, but sort of pivotal to my understanding of the relationship. I came back from work, had an extremely stressful day, like to the point where I was walking back home and I didn't know where I was.
Wow.
It was like one of those days. So I called her just to check in with her. And then she was asking me about my day, and I was telling her like, it's been crazy. But she couldn't fathom what I was trying to say because she doesn't know what I do. But then she kept talking about how much of a stressful day she had because she was struggling to write an essay. And I was like, for context, I'm dealing with like large transactions, like multi hundreds of millions of dollars. And if they fail, it's like a problem. Like it looks bad on you.
For sure.
Yeah. So I had a real big issue towards the end of my day, and it threw me off completely. And she just didn't understand any of it. And I realized we're just in such different places that I can't connect with her. It's difficult.
You do have those moments when you're dating, especially in the early phases, where you actually see, is this person on the same wavelength? Can they fathom like what I'm going through, some of my struggles? And I think that's the beauty in dating. And I'm very big on like, vetting each other in the beginning, both men and women. Yeah. The beauty is that, you can actually show that person your life and you can see their life and you can see, do I fit in? Do they fit in?
Right.
It's really important as opposed to, just show them the highlights.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's not what a relationship is like anyway. You have down days, you have good days, you have mundane days. That's kind of just how it goes. So, okay. Where was that, by the way? What city was that in?
This was in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the US. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just for a little background then, tell us a little bit about the places that you've lived super quickly and how long you've stayed there for, and then like what you're doing in London now.
Yeah, so I was brought up in Dubai, lived there 17 years. So I finished all my schooling up till 17, so high school all done. Then I applied for colleges in the US. I got into a lot of them, but I then decided to move to California for my bachelor's in statistics and mathematics, very technical.
Okay.
Moved there 2017. 4 years, finished my bachelor's, got a job right after in Salt Lake City, Utah at a bank, and moved right out. So 2022 I moved to Salt Lake City. And then I spent there like about 2.5 years, and then I moved to London, like where I am now. So it's been 7 months here.
Okay, so you've only been in London 7 months?
Yeah, brand new.
How is London for you?
Initially, I was so frustrated. The commutes were just horrible. The trains, the rain. I came in peak winter, so November. It's just rain all day, every day, no sunlight.
I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's wild. But like the summers here are really good though. Like these last couple of months have been great.
Yeah, they've been sick.
Yeah. So I think I just got sold the bad image. And I appreciate London a lot more now.
Good.
The people here are actually a lot nicer than Salt Lake City, surprisingly.
Right.
And the food here is just incredible. Like I love the food, the scene. There's always something happening. I can invite someone.
Every day of the week, every night, every afternoon, there's something happening, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm glad you're enjoying that, bro.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's crack on. So we're going to move on to another section now, which is where you are right now. So let me ask you this. It's maybe a little bit of a personal one. Of course, this is why we're here. When you're around a woman you are genuinely attracted to, what shifts in you?
I tend to become self-judgmental. I think about the flaws that I have and they float up to my mind and they make me freeze.
You freeze up.
Yeah, freeze up. I've done a lot of work on this so I can sort of come back to myself. But that's a tendency for me is to, if I'm really attracted to this person, their personality speaks to me a lot, then I can put them on a pedestal and be like, wow, look at me. I'm like nothing compared to them. And that's when it becomes a problem. And I can't really be my genuine self. I can't be attractive. I can't be charismatic. I can't say funny things. So that's where I get held up most of the time. But when it comes to approaching them though, that's just a different story. I don't know if we'll get to that at some point.
Just quickly touch on that. I think in our first meeting, you said that you're okay with approaching, right?
I think I'm confident that I can do it. But when it comes to the content of those approaches, that's
what
where
to talk about and
like the approach itself, like it's like going skiing. I don't know if you've skied.
Never skied, no.
Okay, anyway, or like you've done like I don't know if cliff jumping or these kinds of things. Like I'll be the first to jump out of the plane. Let's say if I'm skydiving, but how am I going to handle myself? That I don't know. So that's the thing. That's
Understood. Okay. Yeah, no, that's really interesting, man. Okay, so can you then maybe recall a moment that you've had with a woman then where you froze up, maybe recently? Maybe on the mock date that you just went on, or work scenario.
Yeah, the work scenario. I'd say. I think I mentioned it in our.
You did.
Yeah, with her specifically, she asked me about my dating life, and I refused to say anything. Yeah.
How did you answer?
I said no comment.
Police interrogation.
I was like, hey, I made an excuse saying, hey, if you want to know about it, you got to like get to know me a bit more, and then I'll share it.
Was this where was this? What was context?
This is post-work drinks, and we were all heading back or actually we were going to get kebabs or something like that.
Fair enough.
And she is very inquisitive, and I love that about her. But at the same time, I was so insecure in the moment that because I know she's had multiple like partners in the past, and I felt insecure by it, and I didn't want to say anything about myself.
No, I hear that. Thanks for sharing that, bro. Because that's probably a very vulnerable moment. So yeah, no, thank you for that. I think it's good to reflect on. The self-awareness is really important there, and I believe that throughout this journey of the Maskülen Essence, you will be able to then pick up those areas and say, cool. I used to be not very good at this, or I used to freeze up. And now I've developed the skills. Yeah. And now I've got the qualities and be able to be like, okay, cool. Like I can do that.
Right.
I can kind of level up in that sense. So big question now. What do you think women see in you right now? And what do you wish they didn't?
I think they see me as a very serious person. Initial glance, I would say. But I think when they get to know me, they realize that I think extremely deeply about things. And I'm very perceptive. I think that's what they would eventually see. I think they can also see that I'm perhaps very distant in general, and that I'm on guard, that I have walls. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you wish they didn't see in you?
I wish they didn't see my unattractive features. Like I don't want to say body dysmorphia, but it's some version of that. I feel I'm like hypersensitive to like how I look, how I'm like presenting myself. I hope that other women don't do this, don't hyperfixate on those qualities about me.
Like the physical attributes and how
correct.
appearance and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's really, this is really insightful already, bro. I think we're
Nice.
learning a lot, and I think it will be fantastic for us to reflect on
Yeah.
when we do look back at this. Okay, it's 6 months from now. So fast forward 6 months, I think that's like December 2025. What's happening in your ideal dating life?
I need to think about that. I think I'm dating in a more calm way. I want to feel less stressed when I'm meeting women. Like, I think you mentioned in our meeting that, you know, how your heart rate remained the same when you started approach. I want to be in that spot at some point. 6 months in, I would say I definitely want to be there. I also want to be around women that I actually I'm attracted to, as opposed to just getting a chance with.
Right.
Yeah.
And where are you at right now then? So dating life wise, how far off are you from that?
I say I'm pretty far off. Not that I interact with women, and especially like women that I'm attracted to, like the one from work. But when it comes to other women that I find attractive, I see them on the streets, I acknowledge it, and then I move on. I don't really go out of my way. I kind of wish that I had the push to like just go out, ask for who they are, what they do. I wish I had in the moment have the courage to do that. But yeah, I would say right now I'm at kind of like an empty, dry spell, backed by a lot of inexperience in general in dating.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do talk to women, and I don't feel like very shy around them in general. But at the same time, I would love to have a deeper connection with them.
Yeah. Just quickly on the when you're out and about and you see a woman that you're attracted to.
Yeah.
This is what we specialize in. So this is fantastic, bro. Like the fact that you're at a level where you want that and you want to kind of develop those skills, you're in the right place. Because even the last 2 days, you know, after I met you, obviously did that approach day with Jack, and then yesterday with Taryn in Birmingham. And I'll tell you something as well, I'll put this on the record as well with Taryn. One thing I've seen with him is how courageous he is compared to when he first started. It's just like, oh, I'll say, how about her? He'll be like, yep. And he's off. I'm just like, wow, because in the beginning, it would take a bit of time. It would take a bit of pacing up and down. It would take a bit of, but you know, she's not really that attractive. You know, guys start doing that. They start thinking of an excuse, or she's too far away. So yeah, it's food for thought. But I like that you're kind of at like ground zero dating life wise now.
Yes.
And then you're ready now for, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, these next couple months, let's absolutely fast track it. Okay. Where are we at? Let's have a look. How are you finding this, by the way?
It was great. I love this.
Amazing.
I'm awesome. This is awesome.
Let me ask you this. What kind of woman would make you feel like you had to level up to keep her attention? Big question, I know.
No, that's what I'm going through right now, actually.
Yeah?
And that's kind of why I'm here as well, to level up. I think that I have a secret wish that the girl that I'm crushing on is able to sort of look up to me and be like, whoa, he's something I could learn something from.
I like that.
Yeah. And that because I view her obviously this is all mental constructs, but I view her on a pedestal, and I want to be like just there.
Yep.
If not higher.
I mean, that's very common, pedestalizing attractive women, most definitely. But one thing that I love that you've just said, and I'm very big on, is that the woman has to respect you 100%. Yes,
I agree.
And it is that looking up to you, in a sense. Sometimes, this may offend some people, or it may be a little bit controversial, but sometimes she'll look at you like a father figure. Sometimes she might look at you like an older brother.
Yeah.
Sometimes she might look at you like, wow, that's my husband. Sometimes she'll feel like, oh, I'm dating this guy because he's taking me out. And even when you're in the relationship, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So there's always like these change of roles, and it's vice versa as well, by the way. Sometimes you might look at your girlfriend, your partner as It's almost like she's my daughter. It's almost like, like these small things that I think are interchangeable when it comes to the dynamics in a relationship. It isn't just fixed and set, man, woman, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. Sometimes it changes, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the beauty in masculinity, is that there's that care and compassion there for the woman.
Mm-hmm.
When I say father figure, when I say older brother, it's like, come here, I've got you.
Right.
Like, come on, let's go. I've got you. You feel sad? Okay, tell me, why you feel sad for? Tell me, it's small things like this. And vice versa as well sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
No, I think that's a really, really important distinction there. What part of this process within the masculine essence scares you / are you trepidatious about?
I think what scares me is if I don't make progress or don't meet my own expectations, which actually has an easy solution, is to not have expectations. But that's what I'd say I'm trepidatious about, is am I actually going to be able to achieve what I'm setting my mind to?
Yep.
Obviously, this is more so, I'm giving very deep answers, but I have surface level worries as well. Like, are my interactions going to be embarrassing? Am I going to feel like a lot of shame? Am I going to feel all these deep feelings when I'm doing approaches, or when I'm, let's say I do like social blunders, I say something weird. Am I going to be able to bounce back from that quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those things.
Cool. That's interesting. So let's talk about expectations then.
Mm-hmm.
What expectations do you have?
That I am going on dates every week. Or I get a woman in bed more often than well, no, it's not I'm getting any right now, but I get a woman in bed and then I'm able to have fun with it and not feel like I'm trying to keep up with them. Yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it does. It does. On a personal one here, and I think this would be fantastic to look back at. For me, obviously, this is only the second time meeting you. We obviously had calls online and stuff, but the way I see it with you is you dress well, you're a good looking guy. And I remember on our first call, you spoke about being an introvert / ambivert / spoke about social battery, spoke about these things. And I'm very similar. And I think as men with those qualities, you can use that to your advantage.
Right.
So you can then fall into the archetype of, he's the mysterious, nonchalant, elusive. He's that guy. Because as humans, we're always putting each other in boxes. Always. It's almost impossible for us not to put each other in a box.
Right. Correct.
So that's why I think, listen, if you're going to go into a box, get yourself into a box. That's okay. No problem. But go into a box where you can actually, got a bit of freedom and you can maneuver. So that is one area that I will definitely work on with you, and I want to work on with you, is that nonchalant energy, the body language, the charisma. And charisma, by the way, doesn't mean being a holiday entertainment kind of, hey guys, how's it? That's not what it means.
Yeah, I do have to give context. When I get excited, I'm talking.
Okay, yeah. No, of course. But I mean, like, I think sometimes, because there's got to be a distinction. Sometimes people think charisma is,
right.
That doesn't need to. Charisma can be, how's it going? Yeah, take a seat. And it's like, whoa, this guy's got energy. What the hell?
Yeah.
So it's small things there. And I will say this as well, and I think this is really important to have on record, is I do not want to change who you are per se, but I just want to refine who you are.
Okay.
So your base level, your foundation, your 25 years of experience, the countries that you've lived in, your trauma, your past, your relationships, that's Amay. Cool. But we're now going to refine it. So it's an ice sculpture and we're just sharpening the edges. That's how I see it, to make it more defined so we can actually see who this guy is.
Right.
It's a really important distinction that I think is good to make note of.
That's a great point.
Do you have any questions? We've got the last 5 minutes now. Do you have any questions about anything?
What's your confidence with transforming people? How do you feel as a coach? Do you feel certain people can't be helped? And what do you do in those situations?
Yeah. So first thing I'd say is those with a fixed mindset, almost impossible to help. You will try your hardest. You will do everything you can do in your power, which I've done. But if you've got a fixed mindset, ultimately it's null and void, because it doesn't matter what I teach you. You're going to go home and be like, oh, that's because Dennis is, I've had this. That's because you're good looking. That's because you had experience from an early age, from 16. That's because fill in the blank, fill in the gap, fill in the gap. So that's that. Does that answer your question?
It does.
It does, yeah? Okay, cool. Can we just quickly reflect on your mock date?
Yeah, no, please. I want to do that.
So I know we met in a booking office the other day, and we went through the mock date feedback from your first mock date with Ray. And there were some pretty important distinctions in there. Maybe talk about it and tell us how you found that feedback, and maybe how you've reflected on it.
It was extremely shocking.
Extremely shocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
In various ways, not just one. I think first of all, the voice note, as well as the first prompt that I asked about was, what would she tell her friends about this date experience? And then she said it was a waste of time, hit me like a truck.
Same.
In the moment.
I was like, what?
Yeah. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Which I love, because this shows me that I'm so not connected to what's actually happening.
Right.
So I like that. But at the same time, the voice note was also so descriptive. And kudos to her, man. She did a great job describing it and giving that feedback. But yeah, that was extremely shocking. And additionally, what was shocking was also that she thought I was attractive, or that she was interested in me, which was also a shocker, because I could not pick it up.
Right.
Yeah.
So you couldn't pick those social cues up?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember showing you that bit actually, and you were like, huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a small little micro expression on your face. But okay, was there anything else that opened your eyes to the mock date?
Yeah, I think one thing I'm learning is slowing my roll. I think if I get very flustered, I can feel like I need to take control of the date. And that leads me down a hole.
Let's give a really specific example. Tell me what you mean by that.
I was asking a lot of questions on the date to her. I think too many questions. And she even said that. She said, I'm asking too many questions. And now I'm looking back, she was making really strong eye contact. She was like looking at me sideways, smiling. I'm thinking, okay, those are cues that I should have picked up. But I was so nervous that I just kept asking questions, and I was not getting any good answers from her.
Right.
And I was intellectualizing the whole thing. And I realized I did this because I was getting anxious, but she was not talking. Yeah, and that I was doing something wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different directions we could take that.
But
overall then, as a first mock date, would you say that was pretty solid?
Oh, extremely solid. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, man. Well, listen, I really hope this journey is, going to be insightful for you. I know it's going to be, especially with the amount of self-awareness that you're bringing, brother.
Yeah.
It really does make a difference. You're about to, embark on month 1 within the Maskülen Essence program, gold membership. Approach it like, approach it with the mindset of, listen, this is going to change my life. Because when you go into it with that, it's like, cool. And I think one thing I said to you as well was away from the sessions, away from the mock dates, away from the podcast, away from the photo shoots, personal styling, still apply what you've learned. Don't just use the sessions as, it's just in the session. Okay, let's get back to real life.
Yeah.
Use it as they're just kind of merging into one. That's where I think you'll see the most progress.
I agree.
Amay, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Likewise, man.
Thank you very much, my friend. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. It's a wrap.